Coming to you from the Lydia Media Studios in the heart of Lewiston, Auburn, it's Lydia's Lunch Bunch, LA's afternoon morning show with Mark and Pam and Alex today. Alex is filling in for Sarah.
Yeah.
Because Sarah's off at a shoe show.
What?
Shoe show.
Shoe show.
Wait, what?
We're covering news and events in the greater LA area and talking to the people making a difference in our community. Give us a listen at lydiamediallc.com or wherever you get your podcasts. And feel free to share your comments, questions, or suggestions via email at podcast@lydiamediallc.com.
Today's show is brought to you by United Piping, serving residential and commercial customers with new installations and repairs. Call today and schedule your oil and gas boiler cleanings at 754-4556. UPI, the best plumbers around. And by Ruper's Beverage and Redemption. When it comes to beer, wine, and spirits, don't botch it.
Squatch it.
At 5 locations in Lewiston, Auburn, and Oxford. Learn more at rupersbeverage.com. And remember, the party starts at Ruper's. He hasn't missed a beat.
Nice job,
Must have been all that skiing last night.
No.
We are joined in studio by Danielle Hirsh, owner and educator at Ariel Jade LLC. How you doing, Danielle?
I'm well. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us this morning. We understand that you get up early every morning, so
don't.
this is not a big deal for you.
No, I don't.
A little early for you, right?
He's a great hype man, though. I need him.
He is, yes. Alex is nothing if not full of energy.
I know it.
That is very true. Very true.
We're going to talk to Danielle all about Ariel Jade and a pretty cool partnership with the Boys and Girls Club coming up here in just a bit. But before we get there, let's take a look at some headlines for Tuesday, January 21st.
The Maine Emergency Management Agency offers a list of warming and charging centers operated by local municipalities and organizations across the state. For more information, visit maine.gov/MEMA. You can also dial 211 for assistance in locating resources.
The Auburn-Lewiston Municipal Airport is initiating an airport master plan update and will have a public meeting and open house tomorrow from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at the Terminal Building at 80 Airport Drive in Auburn. The meeting will provide information on the update and allow the public to participate in the planning process.
State Representative Michael Lemlin is sponsoring a bill to eliminate the 5-cent bag fee in stores. The fee is meant to encourage shoppers to bring a reusable bag, but Lemlin argues reusable bags may not be sanitary. If the bill passes, it will go into effect later this year.
Can we just figure out the whole bag thing at the shopping centers?
No.
Norway Savings Bank made a $15,000 commitment to the Allen Day Community Garden. The garden organization offers a community-supported agriculture program, hosts the Norway Farmers Market, operates a free food pantry, and provides community meals and events. Here's Alex with the weather.
A mixture of sun and clouds today with a high of 16 and a low of 3 below.
Yikes.
Sunny tomorrow with a high of 15 and a low of 1. Cloudy on Thursday with highs in the 20s.
Great job.
Brr.
Yeah, that's the forecast for this week.
He was reading that like, I'm confused. A low of 3 below? What is that?
Yeah.
In sports, Charlie Coyle scored a pair of goals to lead the Bruins over the San Jose Sharks, 6-3. Boston will visit the New Jersey Devils tomorrow night.
Jason Tatum's 22 points led the Celtics over the Golden State Warriors, 125-85. The Celtics visit the LA Clippers on Wednesday.
Central Maine Community College men's ice hockey visits Bates College today at 6 p.m. Women's basketball will host New Hampshire Technical Institute at 6.
And on the high school scoreboard in boys basketball, it was Edward Little over Mount Ararat, 68-51. Spruce Mountain beat Levitt, 73-48, and St. Dom's over Booth Bay, 67-48. In girls basketball, Mount Ararat beat Edward Little 61-51. Spruce Mountain over Levitt 59-34. In boys hockey, Falmouth edged out St. Dom's 4-3. Kents Hill over EL 5-2. And in girls hockey, Brunswick beat Lewiston Oak Hill Mount Ararat Morse 4-2. And Edward Little Levitt Poland Monmouth beat Falmouth Scarborough 4-1. That's your news, weather, and sports. And right now it is time for Pam's favorite segment. It is the podcast segment that is
Sweeping
the Twin Cities. It's time for famous people birthdays.
They're famous. It's their birthdays. It's famous people
Let's take a look at FPBs for January 21st, shall we? We're going to start off with Emma Bunton.
Nobody would know her unless
Nope.
you say Baby Spice.
Baby Spice is 49 years old today. The youngest of all the Spice Girls.
That's why she's the baby.
She is the baby. Over 100 million records sold, those Spice Girls.
Yeah,
Did you
they
guys?
were like, we're good. I'm out.
Yeah.
They did it right, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I would've
Well,
never
they
known who
they
that
did have a
was.
comeback. They came back
Did
for like
they?
a greatest hits tour.
Oh, did you go?
Oh, front row. How about Robbie Benson? Does anyone remember Robbie Benson? He is 69 years old today. He was big in the 70s. He was in a film called Ode to Billy Joe in 76, One on One in 77, and Ice Castles in 78, and also provided the voice for the Beast in Beauty and the Beast in
That's why I don't-
1991.
Why I don't know what he looks like.
Probably, yeah. He also directed 6 episodes of Friends.
Oh, that's cool.
So there you go. Singer-songwriter Billy Ocean is 75 years old today. He's got a few big hits. Get Out of My Dreams, Get Into My Car.
Yeah.
Caribbean Queen. And rounding out FPBs for January the 21st is Gina
Gina Davis.
Davis. 69 years old today. She's an Academy Award winner, a Golden Globe Award winner, and played Dottie Henson in A League of Their Own.
Yes. League of Their Own
What a
and
great
Beetlejuice.
movie.
Yep.
Yep.
Those two definitely stick out for me with her. She's great.
Thelma and Louise.
Thelma and Louise.
Yeah. Tootsie.
Tootsie.
She was in Tootsie. And
Stuart Little.
Stuart Little. That's right.
Stuart Little.
Yep. The Accidental Tourist.
No,
She's done a lot of
I
them.
didn't see that
Long
one.
Kiss Goodnight.
Oh, she played in Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, Dr. Nicole Herman in Grey's Anatomy for a season or two.
Look at that. Good old Gina. She's pretty. The red hair, and she can pull off that bold red lip. Jealous with that. I can't pull that off. She's 69. She's looking good for her age.
Those are your FPBs for January the 21st.
Whether you want a sit-down meal or a grab-and-go, Pat's Pizza in Auburn offers delicious sandwiches, pasta, salads, and pizza at family-friendly prices. Pat's Pizza, serving the L.A. area since 1985. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. at 85 Center Street in Auburn. Online at patsauburn.com.
Don't miss the January issue of Uncle Andy's Digest, featuring Greater Lewiston Auburn's 30th annual Best Businesses for 2024, plus a Valentine's Day gift guide, events calendar, shout-outs, and plenty of one-liners and jokes guaranteed to put a smile on your face. And be sure to visit UncleAndys.com and enter to win the Sweethearts Contest. You and your sweetie will appear in the February issue and could win a Valentine's Day gift basket. Uncle Andy's Digest, your local guide to, well, just about anything. Now we shift focus fully to our guest in studio, Danielle Hirsh, owner and educator of Ariel Jade LLC. And before we get on to the big news with the Boys and Girls Club, Danielle, what exactly is Ariel Jade?
I'm an aerialist, so that's a fancy term for performing suspended in the air, and I teach other people to do it as well. Essentially, I'm the bird of the circus.
How did you get into aerial arts?
I bought a pole, and I put it in my house in my early 20s, and I taught myself for like a year. Turns out I'm really talented. And so I went to Florida, and within 3 months I was recruited. And I learned aerial arts, like the extension of it.
Cool.
It was very fast. It's kind of like the randomest story. A lot of alignment had to happen. I was just downtown Disney, and I was just there. They had all pole studios everywhere, so it was a little more open and conversation. And I was recruited by the cast of Cirque du Soleil. They were like, "Hey, you're special." I had like no makeup on, wavy red hair in Florida. I like stuck out. And and then I learned. Now I know 5 apparatuses. So if it's in the air, I can do it.
Wow.
It's a
5?
strange story. It's like very just aligned. I went to business school, and then I had some family members get sick and stuff. And you know how you kind of like self-reflect and kind of rebel at that time, and it was a mix of those two things. And I tapped into my like the art side of myself again. So I started drawing, and once I did that, it was sort of like realigned me. Honestly, the minute I was like, okay, I'm an artist.
Cool.
It just put me in all the right places.
Nice.
You're skilled in 5 apparatus. I don't know what that means.
Oh, right.
Like, can you explain what that
My
is?
apologies.
No worries.
Of course. Okay, so an apparatus is something that you are on that's suspended in the air that you perform on. Most commonly like silk, so the silk cloths, they look like fabric. Lyra, which is a metal hoop. Cube, pole, trapeze, those are the apparatuses.
Okay.
And I've been doing it since 2010 and 2011, so it's been a while.
So 15 years you've been...
Yeah, my son's about to turn 10, so I just realized that I'm older. The numbers are double now. And
that happens.
yeah, so I have been doing it a while. I took a break to have children, but it's great to be home in Maine offering the art form. That's where a lot of my passion is centered from, is being here, because I was that artist and athlete as a child. I was Little Miss Maine for like 5 years because I would make the crowd laugh, so there's a place for arts and artistry in Maine. It's just not the forefront of it.
Right.
And so I'm excited to be back home and give that option to those children that are, the self-proclaimed artists. Like it's a lane, and it gets overlooked a little bit. So I'm happy to be here and create a space for kids like myself.
Yeah.
Well, no kid now, but when I was.
Kid at heart.
Yeah.
How high off the ground are you while you're performing?
The highest I've been was 30, and I'm not too excited to go do that again, but 30 feet. Right now at the Boys and Girls Club, it's 22 feet, so
Wow.
that's exciting for us. And then my rig, when I travel and you see me around all summer, that's 16 feet. And I teach beginner at a dojo, and that's 10 feet, so that's nice. So people are a little less intimidated to try.
Right. And still, 10 feet's up there.
It can feel high. It feels like baby to me now, but that's why I like my beginner class there. It's a little more welcoming.
Let's talk about some of the community events you performed at.
A lot of them, kind of everywhere now. I donate my time to all the art walks, and I was doing Portland. Last year I did just Lewiston. And then I'm blessed to work all the movie nights, which creatively for me, that's just the best. So each movie I have a new song, and I'm in a position where I can offer a platform for my students to perform as well. So that's my favorite. Shout out to the Lewiston movie nights. I also do plenty of galas. I know that. Even in the morning for the chamber.
Yeah.
That was something. I will never perform at 7 a.m. again, ever again.
What happened?
I was so tight, and my body just wasn't even prepared for it. Never mind my brain. And then I was recording with my phone, and just like right now, it went off mid-performance because I was supposed to wake up for the day. I was like, let me never do that again.
Well, it's like inviting the singers to come on here at 7 a.m.
They love it. They love it.
Oh my gosh, it's strange, but my body was just like, Yeah, I'm kind of everywhere.
I love that you perform at the movie nights because the kids are seeing something new that they may not, have seen before, and just to have it tie in with the movie too, it makes it for a cool experience and a memory for a lot of the kids in the community. So that's really cool. I love that partnership you have.
Thank you. I run my rig, so for the first hour and a half, I let one kid at a time come try it. So, I'm lifting children, and then I perform.
Wow.
So I love that because I'm an educator and not just a performer, I'm in a position to allow people to try it, be interactive with the crowds. Even in galas, having people come up and take a picture on the Lyra, it's the best photo op.
That's cool.
But the movie night's cool. That's exactly why I do it, it leaves an impression on the youth, and it's also a coping skill, right? So for me, that's how I see it. It's an art form that I happen to enjoy. I very rarely see myself as an athlete, a little more now, I guess, but I hadn't before.
Yeah.
And so I love being able to show people that they can do something that seems so impossible. It's the best.
When did you decide to turn this into a business?
I didn't have a choice.
Oh.
So when I first came home, I started working for the Circus Conservatory of America in Portland. And as you guys know, COVID really stopped anything. And so I had 2 children in a row, like a lot of female athletes do. It's just a common conversation for us, believe it or not. So I was pregnant for 2 years straight, and then I just wanted to get them out of diapers, and then I was like, let me, and then I'll go back to my career. And then so when that time came, there was absolutely nothing open. Like even a small spot in Biddeford, I think it was closed as well. So I didn't have a choice. So to just train my own body, I started a business, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing. So
That's awesome.
it's delightful now. Yeah, but I didn't have much of a choice. Thank goodness, though, because now I'm sort of like the hub of the conversation in Maine. Even though there's a couple spots in Portland, they directly communicate with me. And this year, because of the partnership with the Boys and Girls Club, I am hosting New England's first aerial arts competition.
Oh,
I know,
very
it's
cool.
official. It's November 1st. It's happening. So all the other studio owners, so this is great too. So in Maine, all the studio owners I invited to be a judge. So we're going to have all the judges be actual Maine studio owners. So we're helping the economy and, us as leaders. And then we're going to celebrate all the athletes in New England. I have a couple 12-year-olds that are incredible. So I really wanted to create a stage that would
Yeah.
highlight the youth coming up.
Nice. That is really cool.
Yeah, I am excited.
I bet. Where is that going to be located?
Right at the Boys and Girls Club. It's centrally located in Maine. There's a spot in Waterville, a couple of spots in Portland. So we're going to just invite everyone up here, and we're going to have it at the Boys and Girls Club.
Right here in Auburn.
Right here in Auburn.
Wow.
Super
Very
cool.
cool.
I'm excited.
What a segue. Let's talk about the Boys and Girls Club and your partnership.
Oh, I'm so excited. It was kind of low-key what I've wanted this whole time. I even had like 60 seconds with a business group, and I remember quite a few times specifically mentioning the Boys and Girls Club. So coming across this was just a blessing. Gary, who runs it, is just an awesome guy. So we have kindred spirits about kids and making sure that they have what they need to enjoy life and cope, things like that. And so when we met, it was just like, I was prepared for the moment. He, I think initially was like, oh yeah, we'll rent some space to her. Well, I showed up with a full proposal
And he was
in
like,
my hand,
oh.
like physically in my hand. And I was like, well, here, read this after I leave. And he was like, for it. It was just
That's
written out
awesome.
for him. I
Wow.
was like, we got the rigging done. We originally wanted it to be a Christmas gift. So I was going to work all of Christmas break with the kids, but we wanted the rigging to be 100%. So we waited, and we just finished the rigging last week, I think, and I did photo shoots this weekend, and we start in February.
Super cool.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes. I was missing some of the kids from the movie nights.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I was a kid, my mom didn't even have a car. I went to my friend Darcy's house to learn cheering, and that, you know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, I really want to still be there for the youth that may not be able to afford or come to me to have a
Right.
private lesson or
Don't have a
standard
way to
class.
get to you. Yeah.
So this allows me to truly access the youth of the community and
Yeah.
help in that way. Yeah, I'm really excited.
it.
Every
What a-
Monday I'll be there.
What's the age range of your students?
6 to 54. Yeah, so 6 to 8 or 9, they just want to spin and have a good
Yeah.
time. I'm slightly having small heart attacks the entire time, like just be safe, because
Yeah.
they're like, they have no fear whatsoever.
With no fear. They're not thinking about what could happen or
Absolutely
anything
not.
like that.
Zero.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just like to spin. I say they go back in the womb because I like tie a knot and they like curl up in the cloth and I just spin them. And then after that, that's when they cognitively can really absorb all the information. Because one, there's a safety aspect, obviously, right?
Right.
But then a lot of these things take a lot of steps. So then anything beyond 5 steps is considered an intermediate move because the human brain just doesn't want to do it.
Right.
So I feel like that's probably the best age to really start absorbing the information is 9 or 10. But I entertain the ones younger than
Yeah.
that.
Who's easier to teach, kids or adults?
Kids, adults fear sitting on it. They literally, something about the programming of our minds, like people will be scared to just sit on it. I'm like, you're fine.
Yeah, it's not going to fall.
You're not going to fall. The ring won't fall. You're safe. So it's incredible to see some of the barriers that adults put up for themselves. They're harder to train.
Interesting.
They're harder to just be like, you're capable, But then the afters are nice.
Yeah, when you see
they
them
can
get
test-
through that fear and step through and really do something. I would
Yeah.
love to see Mark take a class.
Oh. What ails you, Pam? Nobody wants to see that.
I know. I don't even
great.
have a photo of you on it because a lot of the
See,
the
we
small
need the
groups of
photo.
people I have got on the rig and not you.
No, I've never
Sarah's
had
been
the
on-
opportunity.
Sarah's been on it. Nick's been on it. They're adorable.
I'm sure.
I have some cute photos of that. It was a gala. It was so just fit the vibe of the space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes, like on the lira, that's the hoop, right? See, Pam, I'm learning.
Yes.
He Googled that.
No, I was paying attention.
Just kidding.
So sometimes I've been able to see some of your performances. Sometimes you have more than one person on that lira, and you're doing a whole routine to a song, and that, to me, sounds like it takes a lot of practice.
Yeah,
There's
maybe-
not a lot of room on that thing.
No. I've been farted on a lot.
It's like doing yoga, right? Like your body
It's
goes
so
in
bad.
positions.
Yeah,
and
the
like,
minute someone's upside down, it's just like, watch out for a fart. But especially in like double scenarios, it can be, you have to be comfortable for sure with your partner. It's a little
Mark
awkward.
can't wait to participate.
I don't know if you want to include that. Like if you're looking for new students, that might not be the best selling point.
Well, students aren't going to be up there in pairs, right? So there's
They fart on me. They think it's the greatest thing ever.
Alex, nothing?
I know nothing from the peanut gallery over here. He loves talking about farts.
Me too. Honestly, I think
Oh, my
farts are funny.
goodness. I was just about to say how elegant and beautiful it was when
Oh,
you
it
had
is.
two
It's
people on the
great.
lira, but now I won't be able to think of anything else.
Oh my god! So one time I was like, "Hey guys, was that pretty?" They were like, "Yeah, except for the sounds you were making." Because it's really hard work.
Yeah,
you know
you gotta
what I mean?
grunt
So
and-
is a big one, and people don't see that. They just see the pretty pose, but really we're like, you know. And yeah, so one time that's what someone said. They're like, "Yeah, it was beautiful, but your noises."
Turn the music up.
Crank the tunes. Oh my
I think
God.
Mark was at one of my showcases, and I had a double routine, and they did great. They were great. They're 28-year-olds. I could make them do whatever I wanted. It's nice.
Yeah, you performed at the halftime of the Maine Bulldogs
Yeah.
games too.
Almost all, yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
them, and my juniors, myself. Oh, my favorite doubles was with the Bates student. So I met her, and I was like, whoa, this girl's good. Like, she's better than me in some things, you know? And so I was so excited to have a platform for her. And she was like, you're the first coach I've had that cared about my resume. And it gave me, like, the boost I needed. I'm like, oh, my God, that's right. I'm creating, like, a resume
Yeah.
opportunity for people in that way. So it really heightened my awareness to extend those opportunities to other people.
Yeah, you're providing something
Yeah.
for people. It's not just an experience or what did you call it for mental health or, you know,
Right,
an
right.
outlet. You know, there's something to build upon
Yeah.
for people to do this with you. Yeah.
Especially if they're into it like that. And
Right.
for some people, I have some that would never want to perform, but they show up every week just like everyone else, you know, and it's their kind of safe space.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the New Girls Night Out. I keep a vibe.
That was cool. I
It's
like
fun.
that. Yeah.
Misty comes.
Yep.
Um,
She's told me about it. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's really no barriers in terms of like what people think they can do. And I love that. Misty's a great example because both her kids are in competitive gymnastics. So you know that came from mom. You know, and so mom's being mom and not allowing herself to be that
Right.
woman. And so I get to see that side of her and I love it.
Yeah, that's cool. And that's like with a lot of the people that come and see, you get to see that side of people that they don't let a lot of people see probably. You know, it's
Or
a whole
themselves.
different, a
Yeah.
whole different thing.
What's a typical class for your students? Is it by the hour? Do they sign up for a month or two? How does that work?
I mean, I could be better on the business side sometimes. Apparently, I'm like the only fitness studio that doesn't make people prepay. So that's like a New Year thing for me is that I have packages now.
All your students are like, no.
No, I do have packages, but I do it per hour. So I have a juniors class and an adults class, and then I do a whole homeschooling network. Believe it or not, I'm the PE teacher. I work Monday through Wednesday with homeschool families. It's a low key great job.
I think BJ Grondin used to do that back in the day as well. Yeah, from Prime 360.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's smart. I've noticed a lot of other facilities kind of pick up on that concept, and it's great because
Yeah.
now all these cool little clubs exist for the homeschooling network.
Yeah.
I work at Pelletier's Karate, and that's where I do my beginners courses. And then in the summer, it gives me more opportunity because I have my rig, but the Boys and Girls Club has even opened it even more. So I can have more time slots, more opportunity, and then be able to train the aerialists that are far more advanced.
If the partnership you have with the Boys and Girls Club, you set up your own apparatus at their location, so that stays there. It's not something you come and go with.
So the rigging is there,
Yeah.
which is exciting. But no, I own everything and run it
Right,
myself.
but it's something that's stationed there that will
Yeah.
be there to provide the kids at the Boys and Girls Club, and then other things that you could do there.
Well, they kind of need me. I got the insurance, so if I'm there,
Right.
they can access it. But the rigging is permanently installed.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah, so it's official.
Yeah.
It's nicely done. It took us a while. We made sure it was perfect. There's 2 points. And it's 22 feet in the air. So again, I'm stressing that. That's huge for us as aerialists, but it's
Yeah.
also a bit of a risk for me in terms of like new responsibility. We are fundraising. We could use some help. The 10-inch crash mats are $1,000 a piece, and I need 2. We are kind of asking the community to help us with that while I own everything else. And we do own some crash mats. To be able to really utilize the space to its fullest, we are trying to raise the funds for those two.
What type of fundraisers are you doing? Have you decided that yet, or you just know? You just
A
know
lot of
any-
adult behavior you're asking of me. I made a Facebook post. That's not marketing anymore. Oh gosh, no, I'm not that official. I'm trying. Gary's on vacation.
Gary, come back.
What's the best way for folks to get in touch with you who would like to learn how to become an aerialist?
Oh, great question. You can actually live chat with me on my website, aerialjade.com. It's Ariel is in aerial view, not the princess. You can live chat with me. Any medium, listen to me. Any media, you can message me directly or call me.
And you're a fellow podcaster as well.
I say that very lately. Yes. So this is what happened. So you guys invited me, and I met Mark and Sarah, and we have a conversation. Sarah walks me to my car, and I said, Sarah, tell me what to do to be better. And I did everything she told me, and one of them was like a podcast environment to public speak, and she told me to do open mics, and I just listened. And I've
done an
literally
open mic?
done open mics.
Yeah, see, they're trying to get me to do one too. Is this a thing
Actually-
you guys do? You gang up on people and make
Pretty much.
That's such good training.
Well,
Oh
that's
my
what I
God.
said. I was like, I want it to be better professionally because.
Oh my God, I've walked off mid-joke. That's how you know you've made it. Like, I literally, like, forgot everything I was supposed to say. And I just was like, okay. And I walked off. And then Nick was upset because he's the host. And I didn't give him any cue that I was walking off.
You didn't make friends with Nick that night.
Sarah's like, well, you do have to notify someone that you're walking off the stage next time.
I can. You totally mocked her perfectly. She's like being so sweet
Yes,
and gentle.
but kind of like sarcastic.
Well, you kind of need to.
Yeah, I'm actually doing okay. So that whole group of people, Leonard, Sarah, yourself, everyone's so supportive that I wanted to do stand-up while I do silk, and I've actually done it once. In
Oh.
Portland, I found a space that has an open mic and a huge hall. So I brought my rig. I didn't plan it out well because I did my performance, then my stand-up, so it was like panting. And I
No,
don't
that could work. That could work for some jokes, I guess.
guess. A couple of the jokes didn't hit because I was like full on trying to breathe. But
That can be a hindrance.
so my next one, I want to like do all the most awkward positions possible that you can think of, and then like be up there and tell my joke.
That's awesome. That's a lot to think about, though, all at the same time. I feel
Yeah.
like.
It is. But I've been inspired by some of the people that sing and do it, and we're also multi-talented. And I was like, I have so much humor built around being an aerial coach,
Right.
And so I really want to
bet.
be able to execute it. So I'm excited about that. And I do have a podcast. It's the Unfiltered Path podcast. And essentially, we're all business owners, so we create a safe space for people just to unravel a little bit, just to hear really how they got there, the conversations they can't necessarily have in the office space,
Right.
but would want another entrepreneur to know. So yeah, we're a year and some change into it.
Wow.
And Pam, they don't edit their podcast.
Oh, boy.
They won't let me. I've tried many times.
They just record and make
do
it
it.
available to the public.
They
Can you
do.
imagine if
No.
we did that? I think we'd be...
There's been a few episodes where We're in here an hour and a half, and we have like 25 minutes worth of material.
Oh, it's true. Yeah.
No, they won't let me. I've tried many times. Sometimes I have an opinion that's sharp. Then I'm like,
Yeah, it would make me second guess things that I'm saying.
they won't let me though because that's just what it is. It's there for everyone
Wow.
to see because it's on YouTube too. Which is like, I don't watch them anymore. I don't listen. Like having these headsets is a trip. This is what I sound like.
Yes, it is. I listen and I'm like,
I sound like I have a cold.
So it's unfiltered. That's the name of the podcast. And who are your co-hosts?
Great question. Trinity. I'm like, please remember their name.
You were just stalling for
Oh
time.
my God, it's early. Okay, so Trinity. What's fascinating is when I first met her, is she sold makeup and in a way that was just brilliant. She really cared. She had men buying stuff. She just cared about skin health, etc.
Right.
But she just had a way about her, and now she does mindset coaching and motivational speaking, working with all these women's, and she was a director, etc. So she's just delightful. She usually runs the questions and stuff. I'm there for comic relief. And then we have Graham. You guys probably know Graham Duval.
Yeah.
Yes, and so he's the other one. So he is the owner of Value Productions, so he's technically sound. If it wasn't for him, there would be no podcast.
that's Mark for us.
Yes, exactly. Yes, must have a mark. So yeah, I guess it's similar to you guys in terms of like, yeah, I get that, like the personality, but it works, right? Like if it was just me, it'd be a little like off edge all the time, and then if it was just Trinity, it'd be too positive all the time. So Graham usually caps it up, keeps people on time, so it's perfect. I've been trying to be better with speaking. I stutter and some weird things. I just never liked reading out loud. Like when I saw you guys earlier, I was like, oh, that's brutal.
You trip up on things. You're like, especially when you don't read it first.
Danielle, what's the future for Ariel Jade?
Apparently, I'm a leader.
Do
I'm going to try really hard to do well at that.
Is that a role that you embrace?
Recently, I felt like I had no choice. At first, I was like, do these people not like me? Da da da. And then one day, it was just like click. They were like, oh, they want me to lead. Oh, okay. And so then I was like, okay. So I created the New England Aerial Arts Competition. So I'm trying to build the aerial community within Maine in a much larger scale. I have people from Bangor that call me all the time, and it literally breaks my heart that I have to say no, or that I can't just up and go there to teach a class. Right. So if I'm creating more open conversation within Maine, there will probably be more studio owners.
Yeah.
It is a risk. It's passion work, and there's not a whole lot of money, right? We get a little burnt out physically because we're also athletes, educators, and the business owners. Yeah. So it's a lot. So I'm hoping that we can create more of those spaces for the youth.
That's great. Yeah.
And
people don't think of those things.
Yeah. I mean, I went to business school, so I care. And I'm a community member. I genuinely care. And so I'm going to lead in that way.
Nice.
Create other studio owners, maximize the Lewiston Auburn space, really take it to the next level. Next year I should be a master aerialist. So then there's just like, I don't even have any more education to do. I've gone to school twice. Bates College let me use their gray cage for a whole week to go back to school via Zoom with the best places in Los Angeles, Aerial Physique.
Wow.
And they trained me via Zoom, and I was able to be an advanced aerial instructor now, hence the 22 feet, so it's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Congrats
thank
on your
you.
Success.
Thank you. I'm grateful for the community to welcome it. And at first it was like pulling teeth, you guys.
Right. I bet.
And like in Florida, I was working everywhere all the time. I didn't have to think twice. Like hotels, it's normal to have an aerialist. In Maine, I had to like beg. And so now I've had enough showcases, places, and insurance. And now I'm finding other leaders to have studio spaces as well. So Maine's really becoming open to it. Yeah. And what's so important about that is Circus Olay's recruiting center is 7 hours from here. That's it. It's right in Canada.
Yeah.
So Maine should absolutely be the hub of talent.
Yeah.
We're right there. So it just makes sense that we would be hosting a lot of the talent. So I just want to be a part of making that happen.
Anything else about Aerial Jade that you would like our listeners to know?
It's great. Reach out to me. I have wonderful beginner classes. I have opportunities for people that want to perform. When you guys are just out around, like your nieces and nephews, think about this. You know the nieces and nephews that are athletic, but they just seem to not want to commit to it, but they're kind of artsy and quirky and maybe awkward? They're aerialists.
Okay.
All right. It's a good referral.
You like that?
If you'd like more information, you can go online to aerialjade.com. Locally owned and locally focused, Lydia Media celebrates the heart of the greater Lewiston-Auburn area through 2 magazines, Uncle Andy's Digest and LA Metro Magazine, and the new Lydia's Lunch Bunch podcast. Each production shines a positive light on local businesses, nonprofits, events, and individuals making a difference in our community. Keep your advertising dollars local and position your business in front of your target audience with Lydia Media. Learn more at lydiamediallc.com. And Danielle, we'd like to close the show with a segment called 3 Random Questions.
Not trivia question.
No, not trivia. Well, about you.
Okay.
It's Danielle Trivia. All right. If the aerial arts did not exist, what would you be doing?
Probably working for an enormous corporation. Making a lot of money. I'm kind of a corporate ninja.
Doing what?
Oh, that can vary. I sold cell phones for like ever. And then I worked for the banking system when I was pregnant, when I couldn't be an aerialist, and I did really well. Like TD Bank was like going to send me to vacations and stuff.
Cool.
So I'd probably do that, but I wouldn't be that happy. The artist in me taps like on my shoulder, and like I'll even get sick sometimes if I put like literally like a physical illness if I put it off too much.
Wow.
Like you must relate. Like okay, so this is the thing about Mark that I want to talk about real quick. I know it's
boy.
about me, but Mark
Turning the tables.
loves
Here we go.
athleticism, and you're obviously do the radio thing. However, you're an artist. So I see Mark taking photos all over town. Like I will see him like at the art museum and he was just taking photos, and that's when I see him randomly. So from my experience, I see you as an artist and a photographer. So it's kind of like that. It's like I have to tap into the artist side more than not.
Mark's always doing
Gotcha.
something.
Yeah.
I got
He
it.
takes great photos.
He is really skilled at taking photos of athletes. It's hard
Yes.
to do that because there's only a moment and then where it's not super awkward.
Right.
Well, thank you for saying that.
You're welcome.
That's very nice.
I mean it.
Pam, you got a question?
I do. Who was your first celebrity crush?
Ooh.
I thought you meant now. I was like, oh my God, I actually met the guy.
Well, okay, we can start there.
We can. I met Skip Marley. I don't know. He looks like Jesus.
I'm Googling him.
He's Bob Marley's grandson.
Do we know what Jesus looks like?
If
Looks
Jesus
like-
was black, this is this guy.
What's his name? Sorry.
Skip Marley. So he's Bob Marley's grandson.
It's a good question, Pam. Do we know what Jesus looks like?
We don't, but I feel like that's
right.
close, right?
Yeah.
So the last time I met someone that looked like Bob Marley, I ended up pregnant. Twice.
Not by Skip.
No, unfortunately. I don't know. I'd have more money then, probably.
We have so many great sound bites from this episode.
I'm glad I could help.
Danielle, you're a gold mine for sound bites.
I told you I'm the comic relief on my podcast, and I wish they would edit it.
I don't think we're gonna edit this one.
But my first crush, ironically enough, looks a little bit like my son, so I like write it out of my brain. But it was like kind of Justin Timberlake, believe it or not. And my son has a blonde curly fro. Like the odds of it is just insane.
Like, is this my punishment for something?
Like, am I being mocked?
Wow.
Yeah, I would have to say Justin Timberlake in terms of way back when, and it was really just his dancing. I could picture the video
dancing.
thing. Yeah, when like like you're about to do a push-up, but you don't.
Isn't that called planking?
Yes. Planking. That's what it was.
All right. Alex, do you have a question for Danielle?
No.
No? Okay. Well, we'll close it out with this one. Danielle, what is your favorite thing about yourself?
I feel like my true like superpower is I can bring out like the artists and other people. I think I help build confidence in a very authentic way, and I don't even mean to, just by being myself organically all the time.
And probably believing in that person when they're not believing in themselves or hesitating. And
Yeah, well, I came from really nothing, you guys, and then some like not so great steps as an adult, right? So I really had to climb out of like crap to be amazing. So I think that concept, it highlights other people when they're around me. They feel safe to grow. And yeah, I would say it's how I make other people feel like artists and capable.
nice. I like that.
That's a gift.
It is.
That is
Yeah.
a superpower. Yeah, I like how you
Love
described
it.
that. Yeah, great stuff. Thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me. This
We,
is nice.
we hope you had fun.
I enjoyed waking up early.
Yes, I'm sure you did.
I got a babysitter for this. This is official. Like, this is like a date night. This is a big
We
deal.
are special.
We are. Danielle, thank you so much for all you're doing in this community and for all you will continue to do. And best of luck with your partnership with the Boys and Girls Club.
Yes, thank you.
We want to thank our sponsors for today, Ruper's Beverage and Redemption and United Piping. And if you'd like to be part of the Lydia's Lunch Bunch advertising family, reach out to Pam via email at pam@lydiamediallc.com. Thank you, Alex. Tomorrow, we have the Maine Nordiques in studio. They have won 8 in a row.
Whoa.
So they are back on track, back in first place where they belong, and you can hear all about it right here on the Lunch Bunch.
Must have been all those interventions you and Sarah had with them.
You know
for
what?
Sure.
No one has given us credit for that yet.
I just did.
I know you did. Because you know, you're here. You see what happens here.
I'm not here on Wednesdays.
But, theater of the mind, Pam.